The people that make the most off of small lists would be service providers and coaches. So I've seen someone, especially if they're doing consulting, you're going to make sell a $10,000 consulting gig or a $20,000 consulting gig off of a small list because you get the right people on your list. The other thing that makes a big difference is any product that you can charge a lot for. So if you're selling a product for $5 or $10, you need tens of thousands of people on your list. But if you're selling a product for $500, let's say a coaching session, or $10,000, like a design engagement, then you don't need that big of a list in order to make a full-time living from it.
Do you think most people undercharge?
Yes, I think most people undercharge, but I'm not in the blatant charge more, always raise your pricing category, because there's just so much more to it. There's so many skills that you have to learn in order to demand a high price point. And so it doesn't matter if you're learning as you go and you sell something for $50 and it could have been worth 100 or 500. There's always someone else that you can sell to. Choose a price that people are going to buy at. Don't be the person pricing something at $500 that no one buys and then having to lower from there. I'd much rather start with a price and raise from there as I've demonstrated value and real demand in the market. And honestly, as I've made the product better, because really a lot of things, like the first version of the course, the first version of the software product, it's probably not very good. So if you start out charging $50 for it and people are like, wow, this is insane value that I'm getting from this, then it's great. That's way better, for a lot of people to say that. And then you can be like, hey, we're going to raise the price next week to $100. We're going to raise the price next week to $500. Starting, low but fair, and going up from there is much better than starting too high and realizing you have to come back to the market with a lower price later. Just for fun on the side, I made an email course that's for creators who have already earned $100,000, $200,000 as a creator. And I put that, behind a paywall because I only wanted people who are actually really into it to buy it. I didn't want feedback from people who were just
you're showing off or whatever.
And this was a paid email course that I charged $100 for. And I'd get these replies and people were like, this is incredible value. $100 was totally worth it in the first email. And I want that. You want people to have that experience. And I added to it over time. I raised the price to $150. And that gave me an opportunity to go to my audience and say, hey, if you've bought this already, that's awesome. If you haven't bought it yet, next week the price is going up to $150. And it gives you this opportunity for scarcity. And then as I make the product more valuable, eventually it'll go to 200 and then it'll go up from there. And at every point I get to do another push for scarcity, right? I get to have another reason for people to buy today instead of someday. And so the product gets more valuable and I get these nice sales bumps. And now that email course, which is just a hobby product that I made, has made, I think, $42,000.